From the Center for the Study and Teaching of Writing at The Ohio State University, this is Writers Talk. I'm Doug Dangler. I'm here at the Ohioana Book Festival on the beautiful Fort Hays campus in downtown Columbus, talking to Stephen Markley, who is the author of Publish This Book, which at first I thought was a command, but turns out to actually be your book, right?
It kind of is a command, though.
Well, it is a command, but I thought
shout for attention.
I thought you were giving me a command when you told me the name of the book. So you were telling me about the book, sort of. Tell me what it's like. How did you get into the command line book publishing business?
The idea was I was a young writer trying to get a book published, which I found incredibly frustrating. Mm-hmm. And so one night, lying in bed, I decided I'll just write a book about how hard it is to write a book and publish it. And the entire process is basically documented in the book, along with every kind of weird, bizarre thing that happened in my life in that period. Okay. So it's about getting an agent, finding a publisher, but it's also kind of about, I'm 22 and I don't know what I want to do with myself, but I know I want to be a writer. Okay.
So what were these weird, bizarre things that happened?
Well, during the course, my best friend found out he was unexpectedly going to become a father. I had the typical post-college falling in, falling out, falling in with the love interest. And so all of that kind of becomes part of the narrative. And it was, of course, during the 2008 election, the economy imploded right at the end as I was trying to get it published. So there was no shortage of interesting stuff going on.
So you were wearing a "Will Write for Food" sign?
I'm always wearing that.
Okay.
That's on
what
right
the
now.
name tag is.
Right.
Tell me about how you got a publisher for this book, since you were sending out a title that says "Publish This Book." Seems like you might be, antagonizing your crowd there.
What, to demand that they publish
that they publish this book?
Well, I mean, the title comes from Abby Hoffman, obviously, from Steal This Book.
Right.
And so the idea is that, I'm this rebellious youth who's, doesn't want to be part of the establishment, but at the same time, I'd really like it if the establishment would publish my book. Like, that would be great. So that's kind of the in-joke about the title. And then it's just about the process. It's very boring, actually. It's, you find an agent, you find a publisher, you do all the boring work, and sort of the gist of the book is making that engaging for the reader, so you can use it as sort of a how-to guide. Plus, it's a fun story to read. Like, that was my aim in writing it.
Okay, and you accomplished that aim.
Oh yeah.
Really,
it's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Book, right? I highly recommend it to your viewers and readers. Yeah.
What's the part of the book that engaged you the most as you were writing it? Was there some part you thought, I'm really enjoying writing
So
this?
my favorite chapter is a chapter called Please Don't Fact Check This Chapter, and it's about memoir fabulism. Obviously, you heard about Greg Mortensen, 3 Cups of Tea.
He's been a guest on our show.
Oh my God, is that true?
That is totally true, yes.
How do you feel about that now? Like, that's some crazy...
he was an interesting guest. He's a very serious guy. And I also thought that I was in the room with what would potentially be like a Pulitzer, not a Pulitzer, a Peace Prize winner, a Nobel or something along those lines at the time, 2 or 3 years ago. And so it was a very respectful interview. First time I've interviewed anybody that brought their own security regimen.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So, which I'm, now it's the second time.
Well, mine's outside, I was going to say.
A little bit frightening.
Yeah.
But publish this book. And I mean it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just going to say. I mean, it's very much about that, about the idea of fabricating something that you're saying is true.
Not that I'm saying Greg Mortensen did that.
Right.
Please don't sue.
Yeah. Okay. But so that chapter is about, and it has me, meeting with my drug dealer, teaching underprivileged kids in rural Mississippi. So it has a bunch of made up stuff in it. But often when fans write to me, some of them don't quite get that. So they'll ask about the famous actress I slept with, which is made up.
And I love the fact that you're not even giving a name.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
That you won't. You'll have to read the book for the lines about the famous actress that you slept with. So then you got done with that, and I'm curious about your own reaction to it. You're sitting there writing something like "Don't fact check this," and you're thinking, I'm writing humor. I'm writing fiction. What was that part of the book for you? You enjoyed doing it. But.
Yeah, I wanted to be a fiction writer. Like, that was my aim. I found that an incredibly frustrating process. And so that was kind of a part of the book where I got to break away and just be as nuts as I know I am inside my own head, as everybody is inside their own head.
Right. Yeah. And so that was to be as nuts as you could be. As crazy as you were to be, you were helping underprivileged children.
Well, but it's much more, jocular and kind of,
You were being cruel to helping children. Okay. Yeah. I see how this is all working out here. What is the next book that you have in mind? Publish this book again? Is there a sequel?
The obvious sequel would be selling that book. You know, I spent a year like basically driving around the country, going to bookstores and getting in, you know, my own weird little adventures that I always seem to find my way into. But I don't want to do that. I decided not to do that. So I wrote a novel, and right now my agent and I are looking to find a new publisher, actually.
Okay.
So
make a movie of this book.
That is a possibility too. Okay. Yeah, that's a possibility too.
But it seems almost like, I'm curious why you decided not to go the nonfiction route, why you said, I'm not going to talk about the difficulty of going to book fairs, say, and talking to radio.
And you know, it would make a great book, because I was just out there and a nice old lady came up to me and she was very charmed by me, and then she read the back of my book on which the word penis appears within the first 2 paragraphs and walked right away. So you know, it's fun doing stuff like that, and it would make an interesting book.
It's fun?
Yeah, you got to enjoy it. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time creeping out old ladies.
Down in disgust, and that's a good time. That's
you gotta egg people on a little. Right?
Great, wonderful. So that's your next thing is a novel.
It's a novel.
And what was the name of it again? When it comes out?
It will likely be called The Next Great American Novel.
Okay.
So
that title hasn't been taken already?
The Great American Novel has been taken.
Okay.
But not the next.
But they don't have a sequel rights.
That's actually this is an exclusive. You're the first person I've told about that. That's
awesome.
You just gotta scoop.
That is and a scoop from somebody that's having people throw books down.
Yes.
And walk out.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Stephen Markley, thank you very much for being
my
here
pleasure.
and talking to us on Writers Talk. And from the Center for the Study and Teaching of Writing at The Ohio State University, this is Doug Dangler saying, keep writing.